Fusion really is the same process that you see in the sun or stars at night. And we're replicating that on Earth. We're just a short distance away from what was the hottest temperature in the solar system. When I first decided to do the job, it was a family decision taken with my two daughters. And it's really thinking about their future and their kids' future of why we're doing all this. This will transform humanity in the future, and that's fusion for me. Are we rolling? Ready to go? Yeah. My name is Warrick Matthews, and I'm CEO of Tokamak Energy. We're heading into a climate dead end. And fusion is definitely a way out of that dead end. It offers not only green baseload power for electricity, but also the means to decarbonise some of the hardest to abate industries. Sustainable fuels, steel, petrochemicals. These industries don't need electricity so much, they need high-grade heat. Fusion is an excellent source of that. But it's also what will enable AI. And we're starting to see companies emerge that will have the same power demand as small countries. For their independent power needs, they need an answer like fusion. At our facility here, just outside of Oxford, is our machine, ST40, a spherical tokamak, 40 centimetre major radius, that's what that means. The tokamak is a fusion machine that confines plasma in a magnetic field. Not a thing of future fantasy. But actually R&D we're doing here today. So let me introduce you to ST40. This is our spherical tokamak fusion machine. And this is an incredible machine. Where we're standing in February of 2022, we're just a short distance away from what was the hottest temperature in the solar system on that day, when ST40 achieved 100 million degrees Celsius plasma ion temperature. So 100 million degrees is an incredible number, right? Why that was so significant for ST40, our own device, is it's the threshold temperature for fusion to occur. Until you achieve that number, you're not causing the reaction to occur, and you're not producing the energy that will ultimately power the plant in the future. Think of ST40 as containing a small star or a sun here on Earth. You're using very, very powerful magnets to compress and shape a plasma. ST40 is a R&D device. We put in enough power to make fusion happen in ST40 that could otherwise, for that short fraction of a second, be powering 50,000 homes. So it takes a lot of energy. It's not a power generating device. We're learning from it. And we believe when we scale that up to future machines, it is the most efficient, most compact device to provide the best economic answer for fusion power. ST40 is a deuterium machine, and deuterium is one of those isotopes of hydrogen that you use in a fusion device. Fusion itself is such an efficient fuel and process. This is a small machine, granted, but here are the fuel tanks for ST40. And maybe you can get a scale of the size of the canisters of deuterium that we're using.
So just this amount of fuel in this small fuel tank allows you to produce temperatures exceeding the sun?
Yes, yeah. We're doing that with an impressively small amount of deuterium fuel. There's different levels of knowledge in every country around the world. And we need to educate people and show them just how big this prize is, but also bust some of the myths that exist out there. Everything from believing it's the same as nuclear fission, to creating black holes in the future and a lot of trepidation. Whereas essentially a fusion device has an inherent fail-safe built into it. We're creating these extraordinary conditions I've described in order to make things fuse together that desperately don't want to do that. Fusion wants to stop. Given the opportunity, it will stop, and at any one point in time, you have a minute amount, 1 or 2 grams of fuel in that machine. It doesn't have the fuel to continue the reaction. And that's why it's a very different process. People should feel comfortable about this being in their area, more than comfortable, kind of privileged to have fusion in their area. And it's why we should regulate it differently as well. All important steps for the future. The race is on. So what was a government lab-driven R&D is now being picked up by private fusion companies. Now we're starting to see the two blend together in public-private partnerships. When you have individual companies with investors behind them, they want to drive for the finishing line and they want to win. But fusion is a mix of, it's co-opetition. There's competition and collaboration in the same way. I think all companies know they cannot answer every technology question themselves. And so we need to define our role very clearly, have very clear technology we're developing, but be open to collaboration with bigger partners. And that's definitely our mindset at Tokamak Energy. We don't think we'll have your answer in 2 years' time. We are very ambitious though, and we support the Milestone program in the US, which is there to deliver a pilot plant in 10 years' time. First pilot plant in 10 years. So we're now into the early mid-30s, 2030s. The 2040s is when this really scales. And so we are dealing with a technology that is there to hit decarbonisation goals in 2050. And that's where our ambitions need to be in countries around the world for fusion.